To call this meeting to order, Commissioners. And as we left last week, we were processing public comments we received last week. We did say that we may take that time to distill some of the things we heard in the public comments. Since then, we've had additional public comments. And one of our goals last week was to explore the possibility of creating a map that had each area commission, all 21, together with the architectural review districts as well, being kept intact. And we said we would come back and look at that. The other thing we said we would look at this week was the possibility of making adjustments on map B. And I don't know which one we'd like to start with today. Commissioner Paul, you were the one that did the work on map B, and Commissioner, help me out. Cabot, I'm sorry, Jeff. Commissioner Cabot, you were going to be the one exploring the area commissions. Does either of you have a strong desire to go first?
No difference to me.
Go ahead.
All right, we'll start with you, Commissioner Paul.
Thank you. I actually had agreed to look at two of the issues that were identified in our public comments. One of them pertained actually to map A and seemed, at least initially, like a fairly small issue, but it got a little complicated, as this process does. And that was, someone pointed out, and the comment was, this map literally splits up an apartment complex. As we looked at it, it actually split a building across districts, an apartment building.
Yes.
We agreed that was something we should try to fix. It didn't seem to be fair or make sense, even though, again, it's a very small geography. It's just one of those little details that turns around to get you. So I looked at that, and as I said, it initially looked like a really easy fix, and then it got a little more complicated because I realized that even that quick fix would still separate this apartment community, this apartment complex, into two districts. I found a solution. Actually, I think it works out rather nicely, but it involved moving a fairly significant population from basically about 1,000 people from District H to District I, and we can walk through that. And Ms. Walters, did you want to try to duplicate what I'm describing then as we go through it, or? Basically, it basically involved moving a population in this is the area around Graceland. It's actually across the street from Graceland, across High Street, from one district to the other. And then in order to rebalance the districts, I needed to find additional population, move back into the original district, and found that down near the fairgrounds. This may be an illustration, again, of some of the kinds of work the committee has been doing for some weeks now to try to find balance between these districts. Why don't I go ahead and I'll just take the high-level description of the other two fixes as well, and then we can come back and actually go through the steps. Does that make sense?
I have a question for you, Commissioner Paul. So the changes to these are the changes to map A, correct, not map B. There were changes to map B, but those were related to Salem Village. So these ones are related to Graceland, are for map A. I just want to confirm.
That's right. And I just proposed that I would describe the changes to map B as well. But actually, the other fix was also, there are two fixes to map A and one to map B.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to clarify. Thank you. Once
I had found a fix for the Graceland issue, I realized that also presented an opportunity to address a number of comments we received about keeping the Clintonville Area Commission area intact in one district, or more than it was.
So is this Columbus 2020 map A, Graceland, Clintonville fixes, Dave, Paul?
That is a map that includes my fixes, my changes. Ms. Walters is going to go ahead and walk through actually applying those to our master map A.
Okay.
Assuming that everybody's on board with that idea. And so, as I said, once I had found that correction or that adjustment to address the Graceland concern, I realized it presented an opportunity to also make the map in the Clintonville area generally more intuitive for the Clintonville residents by basically avoiding taking a chunk north of Graceland and putting it into another district. It basically kept the entire Clintonville area, North Clintonville area in one district. So that basically built on the Graceland fix, and I, again, was able to find some population to move down near the fairgrounds to address that. And then very quickly, I'll talk about the fix to map B that involved Salem Village. Salem Village is a neighborhood on the west side of Northland, adjacent to Worthington, that had been assigned to District A in map B. District A is basically everything north of 161 except for Salem. Salem is south of 161 and basically east and west of Sinclair Road. And I think, again, as we were looking to balance the districts, we included Salem in this District A, and all the neighborhoods to the east of it, including Forest Park, are in District B. In order to address that, because we got a lot of comments about Salem should be in the same district as its neighbors to the east, I was able to basically restore it to District B and then assign some population further to the east in the area around Forest Hills Boulevard to offset that. And again, we can show you exactly what we've done or I've done.
Commissioner Ball, can I just make one small caveat that I just noticed? So when Ms. Williams from DOT went in and kind of like changed the color and made the letters go in a certain direction, she applied that in the map versions that are in the public comment tool, but they are not applied in this version. So the maps as themselves are the same, but the actual numbers or actual letters are different in this map that I'm changing. So I just wanted to be clear that this is the same map, but the districts and the colors are not going to match up because she did that in the public comment tool, but she did not do that in the actual map.
I did see that, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was clear to the viewing public and to any other commissioners who may have noticed that it looks a little different.
Yes, if they go out and look at the public comment map from the website, they're going to possibly see different letters and colors than what we're looking at here in the Esri software.
Yes.
Okay, so should we go ahead and just try to quickly duplicate the changes that I made? And I guess
Sure.
You've saved it, so if we decide to undo everything, we can go back to the original, correct?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I created a round 3
Okay.
maps copy.
Okay, so basically, to address this, first of all, we want to go up to the area around Graceland. Yes, you're there, I think. Yep. And specifically around Fitzhenry Boulevard. George, sorry?
Oh, she needs, Naya, if you can move the map up more.
A little further to the north.
I was trying to find it.
Yeah. Here's Morris. A little further, I think. And zoom in a little bit. Okay, yeah, you want to go, let's see, further to the west, to High Street. Am I right? Yes, okay. And now a little bit to the north and west. And south again.
Sorry, is this the right direction? I'm sorry.
You're in just about the right place, but go down a little bit. Go a little further south. Keep going. There you go.
Okay, thank you,
It's
sorry.
that sort of L-shaped structure there.
Oh, right here.
Yes.
Got it, thank you.
And as you can see, the blue area in this map is District I, and the tan area, I'll call it, is District H. And the vertical line at the right-hand side of District I, or between District I and District H, actually bisects a building there. And there's a group of apartments, nice apartments there, and we agreed, I think, we wanted to see if there was a simple way to try to keep all those apartment buildings together in one district. So, what I found is the parcel to the north and east, not parcel, I should say census block to the north and east, is actually very large. It includes the Ohio School for the Deaf, and that's part of the reason it is so large. But if you will go ahead and select that parcel, Ms. Walters?
This one right here?
Yep. Or I keep saying parcel, census block is what I mean. And the one further to the east and north, it's actually one.
East?
Right there, yep. That's actually what I was thinking of. And
Okay, so not this one.
if you zoom out now, you'll see that's actually quite a large geography. But it includes the apartment buildings that are north currently of that little expanse of District I. In order not to isolate that little section that is shown as District H at the bottom of the map, I needed to go ahead and include those as well. So if you'd go ahead and select those also, I think.
You said you want to, can you say that one more time? I'm sorry.
Go ahead and reselect that parcel you just,
Unselected,
yeah,
this one?
yep. And now that and all the parcels to the right until you get into the red again. Okay. That should be about 1,250 people contained within that geography. And that's
Yeah.
what you got on the
That's
side.
not 1,250 people. That's
Okay. And I assigned that then to District I.
District I?
Yes.
Okay. All of it?
Yep. Okay. And so we've eliminated that location where we split across the apartment community, and all of that area now is contained within one district. To offset that, because we're now out of balance, in fact, if you look at the numbers now for District H and District I, you'll see that we're now, our deviation is about 1,300 people, plus and minus, between District H and District I. So to correct that, I went down to the southern portion of District I, and that's down near the fairgrounds. Yes, it's right there on the right. And you see that tan sort of rectangle. If you will go ahead and just select the two parcels at the top of that tan section,
And
and
assign.
we're going to want to assign them to District H.
Okay. So which, assign the District H or assign them District I? Because this is already District H.
That's District, yes, I'm sorry, you're right. We're going to want to assign those top two parcels of that little block of District H to District I.
Okay. This one here
Yep,
and this one.
yep. Okay, and then also, down below that tan rectangle, keep going all the way down to 11th Avenue. And assign those to District H.
Okay.
And I believe you'll find we're now back in balance.
Well done. Thank you.
So that was the Graceland fix. And I think it actually makes the lines a little more straightforward. So then, as I said, I realized also, if we can go back up to the northern part of District I, and again, one of the objections we had heard was that this area that is in the middle of the map right now on your screen had been assigned to District H and sort of seemed to intrude into the Clintonville Area Commission area. It occurred to me that I could actually correct that by doing an extension of the change we made for the Graceland fix. So if you will select all of that tan section west of the railroad tracks, I think it is.
Indianola? This
Yeah.
right here?
Yep.
And what would you like me to make that?
We're going to want to assign that then to District I.
Okay.
There are a total of 31 blocks, census blocks, that we're going to move here. And there's a little tail end piece right there on the right, yes. You select that, and there maybe on the other side of Indianola also. I think I selected
This
that.
one right here?
Yes. Even though no one lives there. And now I think that is complete. Yes, that looks right. Okay.
Do these up here go?
Yes, go ahead and put those in District I also, if you don't mind. Yes, that's exactly what I've got here.
Okay.
Okay, once again, we're now out of balance, plus or minus, plus and minus, about 1,600 people. So I went once again down to the fairgrounds. And basically extended the northern end of that tan section that's west of the railroad tracks up to Arcadia Avenue. So if you see Arcadia, if you will basically, yes, do exactly what you're doing now. Just keep going, color all that in.
Stop there.
I think that's right.
This is Arcadia right here.
Yep. And now once again, we should be in balance, and we are.
We are. Great job.
And once again, I think it looks a little more sensible in terms of where the boundaries fit and the geography or the shape, if you will, of that district, and not sort of cutting in and out left and right of the, or east and west of the railroad tracks. So those are all the changes I made to map A.
Okay. And then I'll open map B so we can do the changes.
And then real quick, map B, this was the fix for the Salem issue that we discussed. So we want to take a look at district, in this map it's called District B. And over, if you move over a little to the right,
Am I right?
the screen
East
right.
or west?
Just above your cursor, if you'd put the section where your cursor is right in the middle.
Right here?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
And so it's that peninsula of purple on my, that's what I'd call it anyway, that is extending down. Maybe zoom out a little bit more so we can see the whole thing. There we go. That contains on the east side of Sinclair Road a neighborhood known as Salem Village. It also contains an area called Pencader, which is actually aligned with Salem Village, works very closely with them, and other homes along Sinclair Road. We received feedback that it didn't make sense to folks that we had sort of carved that out of that southern, the portion south of 161. So I found a way to correct that. If you'll go ahead then and select the, there are 8 census blocks that are south of 161 in that purple section.
All of this?
Yes.
And you want me to turn to District B?
We're going to assign those to District B, yes.
Okay.
Okay. And maybe look at the numbers and, oh, yeah, I think I did also clean up that, yeah, those little slivers up on top.
Are those?
I went ahead and put those also into District B.
Oh,
Not
one.
that one.
You said not that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And actually, not that, well, I'm not sure there's any population there, so it may not make any difference. There's a little, you got one more block selected than I had, but there may not be anybody in
Do you
it.
want me
So,
to unselect?
okay. I think we're fine.
Okay.
All right. And then, if you will go to the right, to the east, I should say. Keep going. And yes, to the north. Okay. This is the area, this is around a community, a neighborhood called Northern Woods. I think it makes as much sense in the same district as its neighbors in Sharon Woods and some other neighbors in District A. So I selected, and do you have a printout of what I sent you? It
I
may
don't have
be
a
easier
printout,
for you to
but-
look at than for me to point it.
Okay. Yeah, it's on my laptop. I have it pulled up.
Basically, there's a little sort of north-pointing peninsula. That's where we might want to start, right around Bella Via Avenue, and assign that to District B.
Hold on one second.
I'm sorry, District A. We're going to move 8 census blocks from District B to District A.
Okay. I see them.
Yep. Yep. And in that one little corner there. And there's that little sliver, yep. That should now put us back into balance. And once again, I thought the lines actually were still pretty intuitive. Yep, and at least for me, it did pass an integrity check, so. So those were my proposed fixes for those 3 issues that we had neighbors
Can't
identify.
thank you enough. That was good work. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
While we're on map B, I had a solution or suggestion for the Berwick Eastmore fix.
Yep. Let's lift it up.
So on the map that we're looking at,
Ms. Walters, do you maybe want to run an integrity check just to make sure before we make any more changes? To
makes
make
sense.
sure we're good?
That's fine.
That way we know whether it's
Where it happened.
Commissioner Frost or me who have screwed it up. Yeah, we're good.
cool.
Well
Thank you.
done, well done.
All right, so we're looking at the portion of districts F and H where they connect around, right there, Main Street. All right, so what I did was the portion of District F that's south of Main Street turned to District H. Everything that's so,
Hold on.
no problem. So yeah, you start on that end, but then when you get to James, or Hamilton, that's where it stops. So between, I said,
So am I starting?
Chelsea and Hamilton, that portion just south of Main Street. So from that end to Hamilton Road,
To Hamilton Road, so,
which is the next major artery, close all the way, yeah, there,
so from here, from south of Main Street, all of this area, all the way to here?
to Hamilton, yep.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna use the bigger one, because that's a lot of blocks.
All right. The portion that is south of Livingston on the other side of Hamilton, that's hanging down, that part, yes, becomes District H. Okay, and then switching to F District, so that little block that's hanging by itself, all the way to the edge that's out of our view.
This block?
Yes, so you'll stay north of Livingston until you get to the edge. And then on the other side of 270, I'll tell you what happens.
Okay, wait, I'm a little
Start,
bit
yeah,
confused. So this block right here? Or
that
this-
stays, so yeah, where you're at right there.
Okay,
And so the portion that is north of Livingston, that bottom, yep,
yep,
all the way past 270 to the edge, staying north of Livingston, should be District F.
so okay, so from basically north of Livingston,
And stay in that rectangle and just go all the way over to your right.
okay, but where am I stopping at the top? Is this whole rectangle turning
Yeah, the whole rectangle
Oh,
turns
okay,
to
okay.
F.
to H? Okay, that's what I was wondering, 'cause I was like, this is by itself if not.
No. So that stays District F, and the District H portion that is to its right becomes District F.
Oh, this part. Got it. So this over here,
Other way. Yeah, way. Yep.
oh, all of this becomes District A? Mm-hmm. Got you, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Oh, to 270.
Past 270 all the way to the edge.
Oh, all the way to the edge, okay.
And now there's a portion, yeah, that too. And there's a rectangle, so stay on that edge, and right below where you're at to the south, to 270 would become District F. So just that little square there, yep, that part to 270, and that should balance.
This square.
Into 270, so.
Oh, all the way to 270.
And that little funny bit that's hanging over there, yep. And that part
This?
there, yep. Over 270, and that should do it. Because to get the Eastmore part to stay with Berwick, it threw the population off. And so it had to do a funny cut, but I think that still stays aligned.
Populations are good.
Sweet.
Integrity check, that looks good, looks very good. Thank you, Commissioner Frost. We ran the integrity check, or?
No, I can.
Got it. Come on. There we go. Perfect.
I'll run it on the map A too, because we didn't run it on that one.
So we've amended each A and B, I think, right? C remains the same. And then Commissioner Cabot, did you have a?
So I did a map that kept all 21 area commissions and the 3 architectural commissions intact.
All right.
Commissioner,
What's it called?
can you put that in the shared drive if it's not already in there?
Pardon?
Can you put it in the shared drive if it's not already in there so I can share that on the screen?
I've been trying to do that and I can't figure out how to do it. It's in the,
Folder?
Go to share and then share plan. And yeah, click that
CRDC members.
and then hit read write.
Okay. It's called JC Area Commissions in TAG, 12 o'clock noon, 10/27/21.
JC? I got a JC. But it says shared in the title?
You would have to click out of the folder and click back into the folder for it to appear.
Okay.
Did that. Let me see. I'm gonna go to my plans, go back to shared plans. And it starts with the JC. You s-
JC Area Commissions in Tech, 1027.
I don't see it.
Maybe refresh your page.
I'm gonna close
It's
this
there.
whole thing.
Because I have it open on the screen.
Shared plans, CRDC members.
So JC
Yep,
Area
got it.
Commissions in TAG,
Intact.
10/27. So there it is.
Cool.
So there it is, but, and I was trying to get to balance it, but I couldn't get it to balance. So in this plan, each one of the 21 area commissions and each one of the 3 architectural review commissions is intact within a district. But the districts are out of balance. So my District 5 is 13,000 too large. My District 6 is $7,500 people too small. 7 is 250 too large. 8 is 1,300 too small. And 9 is 5,500 too small. And so I was hoping to get assistance in balancing those or acknowledgement that they can't be balanced. I don't know. I think I may have proved that what I was hoping to accomplish can't be done.
Right. I mean, when we look at the gaps in the numbers,
Yep,
it tells us that we're gonna have to take from a pot to put into a pot.
right.
And by virtue of that, it would mean that there'd be at least 2 districts at a minimum that would no longer be able to be intact. Am I right in that assumption?
Yep.
I would assume so, thinking about the math. And the trick with this is it's like trying to put them together in the right combination. Because we might be able to get closer to the balance, but still I think no matter what, at the end of the day, you'll have to do some cuts.
Right.
Or, but as long as it's by something that's logical, like a census tract or something like that, then I think it's less hard to argue with. Just by, like, we're constrained because some places don't have an area commission, and some places have very large area commissions.
So
Yeah.
what if we did almost an audit of our maps A, B, and C that we just looked at and see how many area commissions are intact in those? Is that an exercise worth doing?
I'm not opposed.
I can show you that on the public comment tool, because the public comment tool will put a layer on them that can show you exactly where the area commissions are. That information is also in the presentation, but this will give you a better visual.
So you're gonna add that layer?
I can't add a layer, but I can show you what it looks like in the public comment tool.
Okay.
So I'll pull that over.
I'd just like to, Commissioner Cabot, I appreciate you taking the time to do this, because to your point, it was an exercise that we wanted to do, and even with the best of intentions of keeping area commissions together with our constrained, parameters to build these maps, it makes it nearly impossible to not cut into certain area commissions.
Absolutely.
So those who are listening know that, you know, even with the best of intentions of trying to do this, it is near impossible.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, and to just add to that, like we tried to keep them all intact, and none of them were split for any reason other than population decisions. Because I know that there are some folks who are concerned about their neighborhoods and why is this one being split, not this one. Some of it's just, it's really a numbers game. But I think it's important to note to folks that we're not like looking at it specifically by a neighborhood, like, oh, we're going to cut them up because we're crazy surgeons. But just, we have to do a job.
I think it's also important to just note that even if your area commission is split into 2 districts, because the districts are still represented at large, meaning the council members are responsible to all districts, your particular area commission just now has more than 1 member that if they want to, they could go to because that member lives within their area.
Yep.
Furthermore, they can go to all 9 of them at any point because, again, they are at large. So I think it's important to note that as well.
Thank you.
Yes, it does not change the way that area commissions engage with zoning cases, doesn't change the areas in which they operate. It doesn't, as you just said, prevent any council member from participating in an area commission meeting anywhere in the city, right?
Yeah, it'll be business as usual for area commission. So this will not affect their operations or their management at all. This is the map. This is map A. And this has the different area commissions. I can tell you which ones are kind of kept intact completely. So in District B, the Westland Area Commission is completely within District B.
Which map are we looking at?
This is map A.
Okay. And what did you just say, District B?
The Westland Area Commission is wholly within District B.
You said it's fully?
Yes.
Okay.
For District C, the Far West Area Commission is wholly within District C, as is the West Scioto Area Commission. Franklinton is wholly within District A,
Franklinton.
as well as Milo Grogan. And the Near East Area Commission.
So that's 3.
Yes.
And if I see the Near East correctly, it's also going into Bexley technically, right?
That's just Wolf Park,
No,
but yeah.
that's just the other side of it.
Okay.
Wolf Park is also fully contained in that.
Yep.
And as far as District I, Mid-East Area Commission is wholly in District I, as well as the Far South Columbus Area Commission.
So that's 2.
Yep.
Three, 6, 8. Okay.
In District H, the Far East Area Commission is wholly contained in District H.
What map do you have up there?
This is the reference map. So if you go into the public comment tool, this is the reference map, and this is map A. But I'm looking at it in the reference map, which if you go to the public comment tool, on that pop-up where it says getting started, if you scroll down, you can click reference map and it'll take you to this map. For District F, South Linden is wholly in District F, South Linden Area Commission. For District G, The Northeast Area Commission is wholly in District G. And those are the only districts those are the only districts, or I'm sorry, excuse me, area commissions in map A that are wholly in districts.
So 11 out of
All of the rest
21?
of them, all of the rest of them would be split between two districts, or some portion of their district is in another, or their area commissions in another district.
So 11 out of 21 are fully housed
In map A.
in map A.
Shall I move on to map B?
That's more than half.
Again, the Greater Southeast Area Commission is wholly in District H. Milo Grogan is wholly in District G. Myth by Northwest is wholly in District B. I think those are the only ones in this one, just because this one kind of goes
So-
west to east.
3.
I was using that as a reference, so we'll look at the communities when I'm doing commission.
Okay.
Moving on to map C. The North Central Area Commission is wholly in District G. The South Linden Area Commission is wholly in District G.
In District G as well?
Milo Grogan, also wholly in District G. Clintonville, wholly in District, hold on, sorry. I think that's District F. No, what is that? That's District F? No.
Is that District A?
D.
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
I was like, I can't see the actual letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, District D.
Which district was that?
District D, Clintonville.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
The Far West Side Area Commission is wholly in District C. And I believe that is it.
So this one's only 5 out of 21? Okay. That helps, knowing that.
Sorry, I just realized my mic was off. Could y'all hear me that time? I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I just thought it was red, and I was like, I don't know if my mic was on or off.
So I don't want to rush if we want to kind of continue talking about area commissions. I spent some time this week thinking that I was just going to make some tweaks to map C based off of comments we received, but I ended up making a completely new map that I'd like to just throw up for thoughts. And I can explain my reasoning based on the discussion from last week.
What is your map called?
It's called 2021, October 25th, Map C, MGC edits.
2021,
October?
Yep,
October what date?
October 25th.
Okay, that's top of the list, right?
Should be at the top. Yep, that one.
You said October 2021, October 25th, map C, MGC edits?
Yep.
Okay.
So, again, kind of some themes that I heard from last week that I tried to take into account. And again, I know not all of these comments were a consensus. But as we were looking at the west side, I saw a lot of comments about how, you know, the areas outside of 270 are very different than, you know, the greater Hilltop area. And comments around, you know, keeping North and South Linden together, trying to maintain the integrity of Clintonville's area commission, and then also the comments we received about keeping Eastmore and Berwick together, and also Commissioner Frost's comments about, you know, certain parts of the east side really are not necessarily similar to kind of the Linden northeast part of the city. And so with that, I tried to create a map keeping those things in mind, and kind of also made some slight changes to areas like the south side and parts of the north side. And would love thoughts, comments, feedback, because once again, I know that I split up Northland pretty heavily. But I ran the integrity check and everything looks okay.
I mean, I just want to thank you for your work, and it looks like a great map. It's well distributed. I do see some things in where District I and H and G possibly would, I mean, there may be comments previously that would lead us to want to make changes there. But again, it's a beautiful map. It's well distributed. It meets, you know, the standards we had.
Quick comment. One of the districts needs to be a little smaller, District H. It has minus 541 and minus 503 is what we established as the breaking point.
I mean, it still passes the integrity check because
Yeah, but remember we said that we had to double check it through the actual counting of the numbers because
At
of the integrity
0.5.
check was a smidge off after talking with Melissa.
okay.
So you just need to get rid of like 30
Okay.
40 people in one of them. But it's great job, great work. We appreciate you doing it. I just wanted to point that out.
I do think that there'd be a lot of public comment, though, about that Northland area.
I
What
also
would you describe as the most significant changes in your map from the others? Any
so-
vision highlights?
Yeah, again, I think it's the west side. And again, and I don't think that we received a consensus from the comments, but, you know, the further west you get, outside of 270, is very different than what we consider the hilltop. And then, you know, as I was also thinking about Franklinton and the conversation that we had last week, while yes, Franklinton and the hilltop, you know, would like to be together, in this map, I put East Franklinton in the downtown area because we know that it is, you know, having this vast development, you know, kind of see that as part of the downtown core. Again, I went into this thinking I was going to make some tweaks to my map C, but again, I was taking these bigger themes and I realized I couldn't just like tweak my map. I had to start from scratch.
Yeah. Definitely noble work. But to your point, in the comments we've seen, when people describe the west side, so that far west describing itself as a suburban community and that they shouldn't be with people that are in an urban neighborhood, I don't know if that's necessarily true, right? And even as you describe, and we've talked about like the east part of Franklinton being downtown or in Hilltop because of development. I mean, so once everything is developed in 10 years, then what, right? And so, yeah, I don't know the answer, but I don't think that any of these districts will be undeveloped in 10 years.
So I haven't looked at all the comments in great detail, and we only got the recent comments late today, but I'm just struck by comments from this afternoon. And there are two side-by-side comments. Number 10, this map is horrible. You split the area commission and civic by putting everything left of Route 23 in District B plus this finger on Williams Road. You add in dissimilar areas instead of Far East Side and Livingston Avenue. Any of you ever been to the far south side? That's comment number 10. Comment number 11. This map would be preferable over the previous two maps because it keeps communities whole and doesn't place communities from one part of the city and stretch the districts to the other end of the city.
Right. And
So I'm a little lost at what to do next.
yeah,
You could please some of the people.
some of the time, but you can't,
Yeah.
yeah. And again, I think when we look at the ultimate impact, I don't know if everybody understands that it really won't be a negative impact if your district isn't, I don't know if they understand that it means that there's still an at-large election. Yeah.
I also want to just remind you guys that because the comments are public, even though I send you a comment report, you all can see the comments in real time on the public comment tool. I'm going to keep sending them to you. But if you were wanting to see them earlier in the week, just as a heads up, you can see them in the public comment tool.
Thank
Because
you.
I approve them every day.
Duly chastised.
No.
Again, I bring this map up not as one that we have to consider adopting. It was just,
Right.
again, I was just trying to keep some of the themes that I saw just to see what it would look like. But
So until I saw your map, I didn't think it was possible to do some of the things I see in your map. So thank you for creating it. Yeah.
Also, I think you'll continue to see comments where people are really excited because when you think about how things are split up, certain things will affect certain neighborhoods maybe differently. And so if I live on this part of the street, I might be really excited to be here, but if I live on the other side of the street, I may feel differently about it. So I think that's why you get some of the comments that are like, oh, we love this, or actually, we hate this. So you'll probably continue to see that. Just as an aside, Lucy and I are working on creating some snack and learns once these maps go live. Our community members can come and ask questions. And so we're working on creating something like that for people to be able to basically have additional time to talk more about the maps once the final maps are out. just so they can have an additional touch point to answer any questions about the maps or about the process going forward as an additional piece of engagement for community members.
And so that would be done on our timeline. Ballpark, when are you thinking for that?
We have a couple of dates. You all are welcome to come, but it is not a requirement that you come. There'll be one on a weekday evening, and there'll be one on a Saturday morning. Looking at, again, touching base with area commissions, but also touching base with other community leaders and state leaders and creating a space where we would kind of walk them through the tool if they're having trouble. I know some of our older residents are saying, I don't know how to use this tool, so it's just another touch base. Would love to have you there if you're available, but it's not a requirement for you all to be there.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
So I'm wondering, again, with our goal, we have to submit 3 maps to be our final maps. Do we want to take a look at the 3 maps based on the tweaks that we made tonight and kind of analyze, like, let's look at how we divided Linden in each one. Let's just, we'll start with Linden, see how it looks on each 3, making sure that, okay, in map A, it's split. Map B, it's split. Map C, they're mostly together. Let's look at, the south side, what we did on each map. I think we've done a really good job at kind of giving people options of things to look at, but before we think about, again, saying that these are the final 3.
So of the 3 we have, by my assessment, Linden is intact in map A. But other than map A, Linden is not fully intact. Actually, A and C, my apologies. And C has not only Linden is intact, Clintonville is intact in map C as well.
In the current map C that's on public comment, or the...
Yep, yes, ma'am. Well, yes, the current one that's out there, Clintonville and Linden were intact.
Commissioner Sarswell, when you're saying you want to go through each individual map to look at certain areas, I guess my question would be, is this additional map you created, is that one of the maps you're going to look at, or you want to look at the original map C that's public and look at it from that aspect?
I would say the original maps, knowing that we just made some tweaks to A and B tonight.
Okay.
But that's just my thought. I know we're kind of ahead of schedule, and we just need to think about kind of what our next steps are at this point.
Are those, so the print-offs out there that we use, those are what's on public comment, right? Because it would be helpful
Yeah.
to see them side by side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to bring those inside.
Let's do that.
I was thinking,
Yeah. Great idea.
Here, I'll help you.
Part of our working session.
Yes, literally working.
You pretty much need a tablet the size of a dining room table to work with the Esri software.
I don't know how you're doing it on a tablet. Oh my gosh.
Which one do you do? You want A right here?
And I can move out of the way so they'll have a clear view to the maps with the camera.
So in public comment, we see on map A, someone said that there is no district F in map A, but I clearly see a district F.
I think they just couldn't see it.
When you scroll out, because of the lettering, it disappears the F when you scroll in.
Got it, okay.
Dynamic formatting.
The other thing is the living community is together, the way I see it there, 11th Avenue, all the way up, right?
This is like south end, this is like the north area, below the road, I think.
And another comment we had that celebrates map A is that with the Link Us plans that are being developed, there'd be one representative that would kind of be included in that Link Us.
Kind of. Yeah.
Negative comment I saw on map A was that some folks felt that they should be paired with people outside of 270. Yep. And they felt that because they needed parks and sidewalks and a recreation center, that somehow being paired with people who might not need those things, that there'd be some negative impact. But I see it as potentially, if there's people in their community that have already gotten those things, then now they might be more likely to get them, since that's who they're now sharing in community with, people who have successfully gotten sidewalks and recreation centers.
The fact is that in any district of 100,000 people, you're going to have a variety of needs among that population and a variety of assets that are already in place to serve those needs.
Right.
And so
Yep.
we can't really define a district based on one set of needs.
Right.
And we're constrained again by the geography in a lot of cases. What's there is there.
Very good points. We also heard one of the public comments said that they couldn't vote in Grandview Heights, and last I checked, our work was limited to the city of Columbus, correct? Yep, and so that wouldn't be an applicable public comment. So that's map A. Anything else we need to process on map A?
Here's a comment number 14. This is perfect.
Thank you for lifting that up.
Gold star for us. Yeah, the west side certainly is treated a little differently. That's, again, the sort of north-south versus east-west orientation of the two maps, I think, shows up there on the west side.
Right now in map A, we're still, okay, so the Eastmore, okay, no, sorry, Eastmore and Berwick, they're in the same district. Okay, never mind.
Should we go to map B? Or should we spend more time on the map A? I don't want to rush us.
It's really funny because I know map A was the one we did so many weeks ago, but it actually looks really good. And it seems to have
Yeah,
some overall positive comments.
it's almost a hub and spokes-ish. Yeah.
Map A was the map we did most group deliberation on. Because that was the one we created actually in our sessions.
I think we almost needed to force ourselves to go back and rethink when we got to map B, but map A met all the, thought we met all the criteria we were asked to meet, so. I'm okay with moving on to map B.
All right, let's look
Yeah.
at map B.
I mean, there were a lot of comments about the challenges with the orientation of the map. There were some positives, though, about how the south side was bunched together as was the west side. But if we're looking across all three, and that's really why I want to do it, like the south there's very few different scenarios you can really do with the south side, and same with the west.
Yep.
But those were at least received better.
As you talk about that, there's a comment that perplexed me, it confused me, and I'm asking this truly to see if I'm missing something. Someone said that map B prevents the suburbs from being represented in city council.
Well, it sure does, because they can't be represented in city council anyhow.
All right, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something there.
I mean, there's nothing you could do about it. I think they were just talking about how we worked around the suburbs, or at least that's how I took it.
Right.
In some of the comments, they were like, well, Hilliard totally separates this district. I'm like, well, it would.
I also want to add really quick that in terms of suburbs, they may have been talking about the more suburban west side, so people that are outside of 270 and considering everything inside 270 as being more urban core. And so while they're still within the city limits, I guess they would be the more suburban on the west side versus being an urban core. So that might have been what they're talking about. I cannot obviously confirm or deny, but I know when I hear them speak about the west side, like Westland, West Iota kind of consider themselves as more the suburban side of the west side.
It's the same way that they're saying about the northwest bit, but it's like it has to be contiguous. And so we have to figure out how to connect them.
Well, I think to your point, Chair Moore, earlier, is that, yeah, we did take like those suburban more suburban areas and really lump them into urban areas. I mean, District C, oh gosh, what's that called? The Hayden Run area, it goes all the way into Northland. And then same with, the Westland is, lumped with the Hilltop, and then District B, is parts of the downtown Short North area, so.
On map B, we're speaking?
Yeah, Matt B, yeah.
But we intentionally said that map B would be our more west to east oriented map, right?
Right.
Yeah, and the one thing I wanted to say was that I was trying to do cuts that were totally different because
Right.
A and C are more similar. I'm not saying that B has to be the different map that we present.
Right.
But the districts aren't but so different between maps A and C.
Right. I thought that our logic in B was that it would be something totally different in formation. So if we miss something in the formation of A, that B would have kind of created another way to go. Yep.
Yeah, I started reconfiguring, I think it's C, whatever green is here, I can't see from here. Yeah, C. But then when I started doing that reconfiguration of the Northwest, it ended up looking just like map C. It was the same, because you had to adjust to fiddle,
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
because the center would have to change to make it
Yep.
work.
Yep. Any other B comments? Reflections? There was a comment, a public comment that says District G on B doesn't solve anything and it defeats the purpose. I still don't understand what that means. It doesn't solve anything and it defeats the purpose.
I think there's concern about, well, the vastness of it, and representation. There are folks on the center east that are concerned about representation being skewed like to the Near East side away from other areas that are not as developed.
Thank you. That makes sense. Yeah. We also had a comment saying that we need to add a 10th district on map B. But again, the way that the charter requirements are spelled out, we're limited to 9 districts. All right. B, a critique is that Clintonville and Linden are split up. We acknowledge that. This is an option of the 3, but yeah, it is.
So, also, a general consensus on B is that people like the way that the south side is split. So it's not lumped with downtown, like German Village, Marion Village area. It is its own distinct district with parts of the west side.
And it goes the opposite direction. If you look at maps A and C, they have the kind of same upside down L, and this one is an L in the opposite direction in map B.
Yeah, like Winchester Pike there is a difference, northeast versus southwest, but I mean, it's all south side.
Great comments, great feedback, guys. Should we go to C? More on B? Let's move to C. So this one, the Northwest Civic Association, is in 3 districts. That was a comment that was shared.
There was somebody likes, or probably a couple people like the way that the northeast was done. Where did it say? I lost it.
Positive feedback on Linden and Clintonville for map C.
Oh, it says map C provides the best option for continuity of interest in the Northland and Clintonville areas.
There was someone that said that I, on this map, will result in politicians listening. No, the politicians being listened to more than the people.
Where's I? Right.
That's the light blue.
Interesting. Okay.
And this I is pretty similar to A's I we just pointed out. Okay.
Did you understand what they meant by that comment?
I don't.
I don't either.
Do you?
Not really.
Only
No.
if they mean that the elected officials more likely to come from the more central part of it, but that's the only time we've heard that about the south part of town.
Right.
Yeah.
They both cut about at Hamilton Road on both A and C. They're a little bit west of High Street is included in this map in District I. That's not included in District I in map C. Like this little space.
There was a comment that Linden would be better in D or F opposed to G. It says it's more closely tied to and economically and structurally similar to Clintonville, Sharon Park, and similar north side areas than Old Town East.
Wait, they said it was economically closer to Clintonville?
Economically and structurally closer to Clintonville, Sharon Park, and similar north side areas other than Old Town East. I mean, maybe, I know geographically that's definitely true.
Yeah.
And maybe even some of the housing stock in West Linden,
Yep.
but definitely more north than, I would agree with that, more north than east.
How it is in yeah, that map that you created, which is on the screen.
And that's what I was trying to take into account in that one. I think I will note, in all 3 of these, I don't think we really kept the university district together. I think that it's near impossible to, just because of its location on the map.
And even how you define it and how quickly the population just shoots up when it is together. But map B, that was one of the early comments, was that OSU should be a single district. I don't know how you do it when you have OSU, you have the downtown, there's so many densely populated areas that are so close to each other.
And I mean, even maybe it's just, anecdotally and culturally, there is a north and south campus.
Right.
Even though there is one
Right.
university district, there is the north and south campus.
Yes.
It's like North Campus are more year-round families. It gets into the Clintonville feel after the further north you get, where South Campus is very much dormitory and students.
I'm just going to speak freely because I'm among friends. There are elements I really like about each one of these maps, and there's elements that I really dislike about some of them. And so,
Start with the elements you don't like and go map to map.
to me, it feels weird. Again, I'd have to look at the numbers, but like District A and Map A, the fact that it goes all the way like to the southwest, that just, it doesn't feel right to me with it being like the central district.
I would agree with that.
In your discussions when you guys were doing this, to map A, I think there wasn't necessarily a focus on it being a central district. It was more so a focus on like the area commissions and the Columbus communities. The only map that we really focused on a central district was map C.
The other thing I remember us talking about on map A in that district A was just how few people lived in that area as well. Good catch.
So I think we need to, we need to pay attention to these comments, but we also need to take some of them with a grain of salt. For
Correct.
example, this map is unacceptable with unbalanced representation of voting residents. Well, each map is fully balanced of voting residents as the charter requires. This map is terrible for the hilltop area. Not only does it cut up the hilltop in areas that are alike, lumping any part of hilltop in with Grandview downtown is an injustice and will prevent further development in the hilltop. I don't think these maps are going to have a hill of beans to do with development in these areas.
Correct.
So I appreciate the comments and I appreciate the public weighing in, but we can't get too stuck in trying to answer and respond to each one of these comments.
I agree.
Also, keep in mind that if you guys do decide to do a final map, which is your decision solely, a different map, like an additional to these three, that when these maps go to the public, it's not going to be a question of what should be changed. It's going to be, this is what it is. Which one do you like or dislike, like the most or dislike the least? And so just keeping that in mind, that whatever you choose as your final three, that's going to be more so the lens. There won't be any changes to that map.
So we saw some improvements to a couple of these maps tonight based on the work that David done. We saw a new map from Monica that may or may not be better than one of these three. When do we have to give three maps to council, and when do we, is there another round of public comment, or is that it?
November 10th, right?
There is the third and final round of public comment, but that public comment period is purely because we are required to do so by charter, but there won't be any additional changes made to the three maps that go out after that, because that would require an additional 30-day period, which we do not have time for in the calendar. The
Okay,
maps will be going to council. There will be a public hearing on December 8th where you all will have an opportunity, and the council members will have an opportunity to talk through the maps, what decisions were made, why they were made, et cetera, in a public forum, and probably able to come and testify.
so on December 8th, we're going to come up with our final 3 maps?
Well, no, the 3 maps, the 3 maps will be officially submitted to council on December 13th at noon.
Okay,
But because council members have to make a decision, and I've talked with you all about this before, is that whatever you submit on November 10th should be what you intend to submit to council. So that way council members can begin reviewing the maps and looking at them, and the public is seeing those maps
so by December 10th, we need to settle on 3 maps,
November. 10th.
November 10th.
November 10th.
Yes.
Okay.
2 weeks.
Okay. Okay, so we've got 3 maps, we've got 2 slight improvements to 2 of these maps, and we have Monica's map. Do we want to, I mean, when do we decide which 3 of those 4 we want to give to council?
Well,
And should we have any conversation around that?
and to be fair, there's still your map, although it's not balanced at this point.
Right.
And then there was the map that Commissioner Cabot did right before the last round at the end that he created. You have a session next week on November 3rd, and you have a session scheduled on November 9th, because I remember you all saying that you would feel most comfortable having received all the comments and looked at all the comments before making a decision on which ones to submit, and so that's what the meeting on the 9th is for. So you
So I-
have a little time.
So I think between now and next Wednesday, I will look at these 3 maps and Monica's and see which one does the best job of keeping the area commissions intact, and see if that's a way to value one over the other.
I think you determined the map A kept, was it 11? How many was it together?
11 of 21 were kept together fully.
Yeah.
And like their whole entire commission was encompassed in one district in map A.
And that's the top one?
Yes, map A at the top one, map
That
B has
just-
3, and
That
map
just
C
doesn't
has 5.
seem like,
But
seems like we ought to be able to do better than that.
so we just said which ones were fully encompassed, but there were a few others that were vast majority encompassed as well.
Yes.
Okay.
There were others that were vast majority. I just didn't say those ones because that wasn't the question. The question was which ones are wholly encompassed. So 11, over 50% are fully encompassed, but there are some where it's just only a small sliver of them is in another district. So if we're looking at slivers, again, the area commissions are kept pretty whole, specifically in map A.
And again, even area commission boundaries are not always intuitive, don't always use major roads and so forth, which we were trying to do to keep our districts understandable in terms of where the boundaries lie, so.
Also, the area commissions don't cover the entire city, so there are some that are, like the northwest area is uninhibited by area commissions. They have civic associations.
Are we, not to take a vote, because I can't do that.
So if I'm looking,
Hold on, Commissioner
Just a
Falk.
question, are we leaning, how are people feeling about these 3? I know that, so we made some changes. Are we, are there any that we were saying we need to chuck and replace? Or they need edits? I'm trying to, where are we at as a group? If you want to chuck one, or more. So we can so then we can have, we only have 13 days.
Yep. And my thought is we create a folder with whatever maps are still in the running so that we see if it is these 3 plus 2 more, there's a folder with just the 5 in it. So while we're not here, we can look at those with a critical lens, come back here with an analysis and go from the 5 to 4. But right now, as we sit here, I feel married to these 3, but I know there's 2 out there. Well, these 3 with the updates, I should say. But then I know there's 2 out there that are background noise. I'd much rather have them in the folder as a real possibility. We come back with an analysis, we vote, and when we leave next Wednesday, we'd have 3 maps that we've all agreed to. that we would then tighten up for the following week, and then that would be the week we'd be done. Thoughts?
Sounds good to me.
Commissioner Cabot, did you think that you would have the time to do some additional work on your map to do whatever you can do to balance the districts? That's the key thing that isn't.
Well, I got as far as I could without breaking up districts. So I don't know what district number it is, but I have a southeast district that is south side, far side, and far south side, 3 area commissions that virtually fit the profile and the population of the map.
Right.
But not exactly. But if I change that, then I have to break one of those commissions. So I got to the point where I couldn't reach balance without breaking area commissions, and then it's just a question of where you start and which ones you do. And I didn't go down that road because I didn't want to start making those choices.
I guess for us to consider it, though, we need to find
Sure.
a balance.
Okay. So I will try to take my today at noon map and see if I can't by next Wednesday make it balance and see how many area commissions I have to split to do it.
So it also sounded earlier like you were open to having other people do that as well, right? Like,
Well,
or do you want to stick to it yourself?
No, I'll do it, but
Okay.
I mean, I was interested in looking at the map tonight and saying, well, maybe
Yeah.
we should do this or that or whatever, but, and honestly, I mean, I got one district that's 13,002 big. I got another district that's 7,500 too small, and other districts that 5,500 too small, so I can pretty much balance those out if I just bite the bullet and break the area commissions.
But that's not the point of your map.
That was not the point of my map, but I believe that my map could get to balance and have more than 11 area commissions intact.
Right. Now, have you
I don't know
looked
if
at it,
that's a
Commissioner
value,
Paul?
but that's one I've been
Yep.
espousing.
Having lived in a neighborhood that's a huge neighborhood without an area commission, did you look at that map with that lens to see how?
I did not study that map.
Yeah.
Talking about
Well,
Commissioner Cabot's
nobody's had a chance to see that map because I didn't know how to file it in the right file.
No, we saw it. We had it up.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, but just
Right.
tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
That's something I can do, but no, I've not done it.
Okay. So are we, I heard an agreement earlier that what we would do is create a new folder, drop in these 3 maps. The additional map that'll go in there will be Commissioner Cabot's map, as well as Commissioner Sarazuela's map. We will analyze those maps, and when we come back Wednesday, we'll have critique for all of them, and we will vote next week to leave our time together next week, again, with 3 maps that we would have going into the following week, and then that would be it, right? That would take us to
November 10th.
November 10th, right?
Sounds good.
Essentially, yes, because if you guys vote next week, and then if based on the comments that you receive between then and, so November 3rd and November 6th, you'll be able to just see if any of those comments, and then you can make tweaks on November 9th. And then pretty much be prepared to submit. I would also keep in mind that these maps have to be produced and turned around in order to be on the 10th, for us to be able to get these poster boards off. So it might be helpful for really final decisions to be made next week so that we can get everything ready for the presentation if you all are comfortable next week, because it seems like you plan on making your decision by next week anyway.
Yes.
Are there any objections to that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said, but I haven't heard most of what you said
Sorry,
tonight.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I was saying that these poster boards and the presentation, all that has to be turned around in one day if you guys make a decision on the 9th. It seems like you have intentions on making your decision on the 3rd, and then just reviewing the comments again that came in between the 3rd and the 6th on the 9th. So that it's my understanding from your conversation that these, whatever decision you make next week, those will be pretty much your final decisions. Is that correct?
Yeah.
We're hoping that to be the case, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, unless a terribly cogent comment comes in to change our minds.
Right.
Right.
And again, I think we all agree, we have these 3 maps, this is going to sound awful, to fall back on if nothing else. Right.
Right. I mean, if we presented these 3 maps to city council, I would not feel
Right.
bad about the work that we have done and the product that we presented to them. I just think we're trying to get, split some hairs and get an even more finely tuned product.
Great position to be in. I hear that the state redistricting may not be as smooth as. All right.
Commissioner Frost, and I'm sorry to derail the conversation because I think district or map B, I want to try to, the north part, I just want to tweak a little bit. I'm looking in, I see Columbus 2020 map B, Berwick, Eastmore fix. Is that yours?
Yeah. Oh, I updated it in the shared drive.
Excuse me.
It's updated in the Columbus 2020 map B round 3.
Yeah, and I took that round 3 and I used it to spec out the tweaks, and so that's what she's looking at.
Okay, so do I need to go in and make additional changes to what we already did, or?
Well, I was just, after the Eastmore part, I start freestyling about how to fix that northwest part. So if it's there in the shared drive, it's saved, but that's what she's
Okay.
looking at right now.
Yeah, and I guess I wasn't sure if you were ready to bring that up for discussion.
Oh, we can, yeah.
Because I'm looking at this and I feel like I really like what I'm seeing, and I'd like to maybe, if you wanted.
Oh, yeah, I'm with it. It's the, whatever ends with the Eastmore Berwick fix.
This is Columbus 2020, map B, Berwick, Eastmore fix.
Got it.
So, yeah, and I was trying to get at that pesky C.
Yeah.
Now, B has 517. What was the number we said?
That's probably not, it wasn't all the way,
Got it.
yeah, I was playing with it while we were talking. So if we're looking at the northwestern quadrant of town, we're around Hayden Run.
But what did we say our largest delta could be?
503
Gotcha.
or something, yeah, something around there. So it's not far off, but
Not at all?
So Commissioner Frost, can you direct me?
that's a good view, honestly. So District B, is that the blue there? Yeah. So A and B, so the way I just shifted it so that it cut more in the middle, kept Clintonville more intact, or totally intact. And then I got just kind of center city. And then I was working on the balance between those districts. And that's where I left off. But you'll see that C doesn't go across anymore. I think that District D kind of gets at the center a little differently. But yeah, I even like this better with the fixes. And I don't know that this incorporated the Salem fix because we were doing kind of at the same time. But with that addition, I think I like that. What's up on the screen better than the map B that's in public comment.
Commissioner Frost, would you be able to direct me so I can add these changes to what we already did with the Salem fix?
Yeah, yeah.
Can't create folders. I thought I could.
Okay. So first things first. I'm gonna open it side by side. I guess the easiest way might be to direct by communities.
You want to use communities?
I'm trying to think of what would be the easiest to do. So like Clintonville is entirely in District D, and that would help, first of all, so we can then clean up the other way.
Okay.
This is the map B Berwick Eastmore fix.
No, this is the Columbus 2020 map B round 3.
Right, so
Where
what
we
he's
already
asking what
added that.
we're looking at. So what you're looking at, the
Yeah.
Clintonville community would be entirely in District D.
Clintonville Community or Clintonville Area Commission?
I don't know.
I just want to make sure I'm grabbing the right thing.
I'm using Columbus communities.
Okay.
So the Clintonville Columbus community should be entirely in District D.
So, I'm sorry, I'm looking at a map that's not the same map as that. Am I on the right page?
Yes, because what she's trying to do now is add the fixes I made to the fixes that Dave did earlier,
Okay,
so that it's all on the
Got it.
same map.
okay.
Okay, now, for this purpose, if you could lock District D. And then the entire, so then we're making sure that the entire northwest community is in District B. Oh, no, so that didn't work with the lock. So, sorry, unlock it. And then, so all of the northwest community should be in District B. If you zoom into the southern part of that northwest district, I guess I'm splitting hairs a little bit, but there's a portion, actually don't worry about it. So if you zoom out, I want to get to the major changes and then we can balance it. So on the, let's see, that's Clintonville. We're looking at the Northland area. All right, now Dave, tell me when I'm getting close to Salem. I know I don't know.
Salem is in the upper left corner of that highlighted boundary.
Upper left.
I'm sorry, down, there you go, yes, south of 161, I apologize.
Okay, so I'm looking at taking, so I guess that whole part ended up in District A. So right now, is it in District B?
It is. Right now, 161 is basically dividing that area that I think of as the traditional Northland area in half. If those two were joined in one district, I think that would be an interesting development. Is that what you're proposing?
Yeah, so the way I have it, the area that is, what is this? So Morris Road becomes the southern line for District A.
Okay, I can see that.
And the western border stays the same. What is that? 161 is, wait a minute. Is that Morris?
This
Yeah.
right here should be District A?
Yeah.
Okay. This whole block?
That part, yeah, right, that's good.
Oh, so sorry.
Okay, now, I think we might have gone too far, but we'll see with the population.
They need an undo function on this.
There is one.
There is one, but it only undoes the very last step you took.
Yeah.
You can keep undoing and back up, but it's kind of tedious.
Where do you find it?
It's the arrow, sort of the backward pointing arrow on the toolbar.
Right
Okay.
underneath the district, when you're assigning stuff on
The
create.
counterclockwise arrow on the toolbar.
And you were okay with this?
That sliver and the one below it are both should be District A.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Okay, that's cool.
okay.
You zoom out. All right, so that little, the blue that you have there in the middle, so the top part of the blue, yep, but not the part that's with the green. So that part that you're at, the blue and the other blue that you just touched are District C now.
Okay, so this is District C. Is this District C as well?
Yes. And then the remaining blue north of you is District A.
Okay.
I must admit, I like that.
Hey.
Yeah, I think my neighbors would like that too.
Ooh.
All that township there. That is Clinton Township, I think, yes.
Yep, and that part would be District A. If we check population, I think those were the most substantive differences after that bit.
It keeps wanting to hide behind that district label, doesn't it? If I were to design a map specifically for the Northland area, this would be it, I think. But that's not enough.
District
But
C
something is off, because it's balanced on my map, but it's not balanced there.
Yeah.
District A. So part of District A needs to go to District B. Is that right? Yeah.
District B
Yeah.
and A are like,
They're about this, actually exactly.
they're a little off. And District D.
Yep, so when we're looking at the northern portion of District A, yep. So around 270, a little, so what is this dividing line? That is 71, what is that? Is that a river? Olentangy River Road. So that portion right there where you're at,
Right here?
and to the north of that, that all becomes B.
So all of this becomes B.
Yep.
From here? All the way, how far?
All of it.
And this?
Yep.
How far over? Oh, is it this little?
For contiguity, yeah. Okay. And then where are we at with the numbers?
The numbers are still gonna be, District A is still a little too big.
Cool, but much closer. And so anybody have suggestions for that 4,000?
Well, we also saw changes in District C and D, even though, did we
Yeah,
actually
District-
touch them?
Well, District C and D, they also need to be balanced.
Okay, so if we're looking at, cool.
Wondering if
So
maybe we grabbed something we didn't intend to grab.
definitely, because they're,
Yeah,
to-
we need to kind of where C and A, like on Morse Road, it looks like we need to cut up a little bit.
yeah, there's a portion, if you zoom in, and so where the District A label is right now,
Yeah?
there are, and start down at Morse Road, and we go up. I think that's the easiest way to do it.
To go up,
And there are a couple things that are not. Because basically, I'm trying to go from between Carl Road and Cleveland Avenue for east to west,
okay, here's Carl.
That's Cleveland on the right.
and the Cleveland's on the right. That's
border.
where currently District C starts.
Okay, this is Cleveland.
And the northern, there is not a clean northern line. This is why I said that. So like on your right, I'm sorry, your left, on Carl Road, it goes up to Norma.
Right here
Yep. So Norma down south to Morris Road.
to District C.
Tamarack, yeah, with Tamarack being the, so right, do the block one, where you just click
The block one or the small block?
that small block one, so that right there
District C, right?
to District C. Yep, and that next one right below it. And then this is what is that, Shabbat?
Sherbet?
Yeah.
Yes, Sherbat.
All the way over
Or
to,
right here? All the way over to,
there, that's good.
do you go above Balmoral
Nope,
to Trent or below Balmoral?
oh, above one time.
Right here?
Is that right? Oh, I'm sorry, not there. If you undo that one. And it was the, there's a little part of Balmoral that actually juts out just,
Here?
yes.
Okay, and keep going across? So this big block
Yep.
here?
And then till you get to Cleveland. Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
then
everywhere below there? Okay.
And those two bits that hang out right there. Those two. Yeah,
They stay?
to District C.
Oh, they go District C, okay. Okay.
And where are we at now?
District C is over
What
by
the heck?
11,307.
That is a very populous area. And then can you put that down for me?
And District D is under by 8,000. Yep.
District B. How did that change? Never mind. Okay. Because, yeah, the way on the map that we're looking at on the computer, it's totally balanced. But that fixed that part.
I think you, I think District D extended a little bit further north on the easternmost part of it, so it extended more into North London.
Yeah, I mean, if that helps with the population, that's cool.
I mean, it eats into,
If you can tell me where your lines are, that might be.
why don't I just bring up,
Can we bring up a computer?
Okay, I was like, I didn't want to touch it and be like, okay. So this,
Looks like we also cut in A.
yeah, so this is, let's see. So this is all A up to here. Okay, so I'll add that. Okay. There it is there. So Cook Road. This is Morse.
A little bit further south.
Now, where is Cook?
South more.
Okay, hold on, let me grab it. Make sure I'm grabbing it. Where's Cook?
Down there.
Oh, so that's way down further. Yeah, so that's where. And then
So everything south of that is
Orange. Okay, Cook Road, sorry. Oh, I can scoot over if it's easier. South should be orange. And that goes all the way over to, what is that? And this is District D, okay, D. And I think it goes all the way over here, because this is all,
Yeah, so go here down.
oh yeah. And then where's the cut street? Okay, so this is this is in the right spot, and this is orange too. So this is correct now to that.
This may be a continuity issue.
Yeah, this might have to go back. Yeah. And this will have to stay D over here. Okay.
Wow.
This is closer. It's a lot closer.
It's almost perfect, yep.
So C and D need to swap some. I just don't. Yeah, D needs a little more, C needs less. And then B also is a little bit too big. So we need fixes to B, C, and D. Okay, so let's look at her B, C, and D again, I guess. Sorry. This is my laptop. I don't mean this laptop. This is touchscreen, so I was so confused. Okay. I just want to look closer to see if there's anything that I'm missing. Okay, so this piece is in D. Yeah. But should I add it back so it's... Yeah, all this is the other part.
Yeah, that still stays with me.
And so this will go to D. sure that this, I think that's what that's supposed to, I think that's accurate now. The C gotta go down.
basically, if something from B can go to D and something from C can go into D, we'd be fine.
B is over,
And C is over, and they're on opposite sides of D, and D is under.
yes.
Okay.
You can add to D from both sides. Thank you. Oh, this is weird. This might be an issue too. Or wait, no. No, never mind. I'm just kidding. They just look similar colors.
Well, Commissioner Frost, thank you for that. As I said, I think that looks very coherent as far as the Northland area is concerned. If I had done it, I'd probably be accused of favoring my own neighborhood. But since you did it, thank you.
All right, so if we zoom into the southern, where B and D meet at the south portion of it.
Right here.
Yeah. All right, so it's looking like I have a couple census blocks.
And these are going to D.
They're going from B to D,
Okay.
the bottommost and the one right above it. So
This one?
those two, yep. That's the most obvious difference I'm seeing.
Okay, so B and D are good.
Cool, now C on the other side. There aren't too many places where they're connecting, so if we just look around there, we can figure out where it's different. C and D. Oh, I see one place that's not contiguous.
There's a whole block that's missing. Or am I looking at it wrong? That top orange one is missing, right?
The top orange?
Like that's missing altogether.
Yeah, because it's not supposed to be, it's not contiguous. It has to be C, so it's right up here.
You see it?
Yeah, the part that's right by Graceland,
Got it.
it has to be in C. And then there's a part of, that doesn't look contiguous either. No, it is, okay. So really, we just need to identify a census block with about, what, 200 people?
Yeah, closer to 300, but yes.
Okay.
This area is naturally connected to that area already.
C to D. And that would help with contiguity, okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. Okay, so we're moving from C into D or D?
Yeah, C into D.
Yeah.
And so that part where you were just at, right there, if we zoom in there, so that census block, so it doesn't look contiguous, but it is. But if we added that block, that would make it more visibly contiguous.
Okay. So you want this and this?
Yeah, and what does that do?
Is that people or fact?
Hopefully it's people. Not
You
enough.
still need, it is people, but you still need more people, about 100
So one more block.
more. A little more.
Oh my goodness.
That one's in.
Yeah, I would say that one that's that there, just for cleanliness, if it
Okay.
doesn't mess up the numbers.
Numbers are good.
Well done.
I will save this, and then I will,
Are you able to create folders?
I don't know that I can create folders. I can ask Melissa to create a folder though. And then I'll run an integrity check on this.
Oh,
Details. District A.
yep. Easy fix. Oh, what happened?
Not to jump the gun, but I like this better than what we have over there
For which one?
for map B.
I feel, yeah, I agree. So thank you for taking the time to, outside of here, make some tweaks and then spend time in here. I feel a lot
Oh,
more
look at
comfortable
that.
with map B.
Yeah.
An island.
And hopefully the numbers still are okay after this is done.
I'm not worried.
Woo-hoo.
Okay, let me double check the numbers, because I had to add those blocks, so I want to make sure the numbers are still okay. Numbers are still good.
Looks good.
We're golden.
And is this still called the Berwick Eastmore fix?
No, this is Columbus 2020 map B round 3, which is in your shared drive.
Map B round 3, it's in the shared drive.
Map B, right? So you're going to put 5 maps in a folder?
I'm going to ask Melissa to put them in the folder, because I don't think I can create folders on here. So I'll put Columbus 2020 map B round 3. I'll put Columbus 2020 map A round 3. Columbus 2020 map C round 3. And then Commissioner Sarazella's additional map that she created. And then I think your map will go in there.
Commissioner Cavitt's.
Yeah.
map.
So that's the one that will have, that's the one that still needs a lot of tweaking, right?
Some.
What?
That's the one that needed a lot of tweaking to the numbers?
Your map, Commissioner Cabot, the 5th one that we want in the folder, are we going to put the area commission one that, we know is not balanced, or the one that you worked on a few weeks ago?
The noon one.
The one for today, my computer shut down, the one that's dated today at 12 o'clock noon.
Okay, and that's the 5th map. Okay.
Great, thank you.
So we have our plan, right? We have our updates. And so we have work to do leading into next Wednesday, but next Wednesday, we know, among other things, we will come here, vote on maps, and leave here with 3 maps agreed upon.
Yep.
All right. Thank you all for your hard work. Yes, thank you. There's so many skills coming together at the same time. Thank you all.
Thank
This
you.
meeting is adjourned.
All right.
Thank you, Chair Moore.